So, be honest. When you get some amazing new piece of tech, what's the first thing you do? If you're anything like me, you tear open the box and toss the manual aside, right? But what if that boring little book is actually the most important part of the whole package? Today, we're going to do something a little different. We're not just drooling over a new motorcycle. We're going to find out what it really means to own one by digging into, you guessed it, the owner's manual. And wow, just look at this thing. This is the 2024 KTM 1390 Super Duke R. I mean, the lines are so aggressive, the engine's just right there. It has this incredible sense of purpose. It honestly looks less like something you just ride to the store and more like a tool, a very, very precise tool designed for one thing, pure adrenaline. Okay, so every single person who buys one of these starts right here with this sentence on page 2. At first glance, it sounds nice and friendly, right? Congratulations. But read it again. It's formal. It feels less like a welcome message and more like the first line of a legal agreement, like you've just been accepted into a very exclusive and very serious club. So yeah, beyond the money and the paperwork, what are you actually signing up for? What does it really mean to own this beast? That's the big question here. And it turns out the answer is spelled out for us right there in black and white. Which brings us to our first big idea, the owner's contract. Seriously, you have to stop thinking of this as just some helpful guide. For a machine this complex, this powerful, this manual is way more like a contract. It's a binding agreement between you and this piece of insane cutting-edge tech. You know, you get this high-tech digital key fob to start it, but the real key, the one that unlocks what this bike can truly do, and more importantly, how to handle it safely, it's paper. It's this book. The company couldn't be clearer. This manual is your #1 tool. And check this out. The manual never just calls it a motorcycle. It uses this specific phrase, a state-of-the-art sports motorcycle. Now, that's not just some marketing buzzword. That's a formal declaration. It's them telling you, hey, this is on another level of complexity and performance, which means it demands a whole new level of responsibility from you. And that responsibility, it kicks off with safety. This is the part of the manual where the friendly tone just disappears. It gets incredibly direct. And let me be clear, these aren't friendly suggestions. These are the hard and fast, non-negotiable rules of engagement. Now, look at how precise the language is here. You've got danger and you've got warning. The difference sounds small, but it is absolutely massive. Danger means if you don't do the right thing, something terrible will happen. Not might, not could, it will. Warning means it's likely to happen. I mean, the stakes are laid out with just chilling clarity. And they leave zero room for interpretation. It's not just about the obvious stuff either. The manual talks about your physical and mental state. Are you even fit to ride? It covers environmental hazards. It even defines what misuse is. Basically, the contract holds you responsible not just for what you do on the bike, but for who you are before you even thumb the starter. The contract is also super specific about messing with the bike. And get this, tampering isn't just about, illegal exhausts or something. The manual actually says that a lack of proper maintenance is considered tampering. Think about that. You are contractually obligated to take care of this thing exactly the way they tell you to. All right, let's take a breath from all the serious rules. Because once you've signed on the dotted line, so to speak, you get the keys to the command center. And this is where that whole state-of-the-art thing just explodes. Honestly, it's mind-blowing. Okay, get ready for this. The table of contents lists more than 65 different customizable settings you can play with in the menu. This thing isn't just a motorcycle anymore. It's a supercomputer on wheels. And you're not just a rider, you're the systems operator. And just listen to the kind of control you have. It's like a checklist from a pro racer's bike. You've got, let's see, anti-wheelie mode, optional of course. Then there's launch control for that perfect getaway. And even a slip adjuster. I mean, these are professional race-grade electronics, and the manual just assumes you, the owner, are going to learn how to use them. But what's so wild is that it's not all about raw performance. The bike has this split personality, because right next to all that race tech, you're also expected to manage, pairing your phone, hooking up a headset, adjusting how bright the buttons are, setting the coming home light, changing the date format. It's a fully fledged, hyper-connected gadget, just like your phone or your laptop. Okay, so this all leads us to the final piece of this ownership contract, the long haul, the commitment. Because your relationship with this machine, it doesn't just stop when you put the kickstand down. Oh no, the manual maps out a whole lifetime of care. You've got the full service schedule, you've got procedures for storing it in the winter. The manual makes it crystal clear that buying the bike is just step one. Real ownership is a process. It's this constant conversation you're having with the machine through maintenance and just paying attention. But your duties do have a limit, and the manual draws a very firm line in the sand. It's marked with a special symbol that means expert knowledge. It even says, and I'm quoting here, "In the interest of your own safety, have these jobs performed by an authorized KTM workshop." It's basically the company saying, okay, we trust you with this stuff, but for anything more serious, you gotta leave it to the pros. Now, that doesn't mean you're off the hook. Your side of the bargain is still very hands-on. The manual gives you a list of routine but absolutely critical jobs. Things like checking the chain for dirt, checking your tire condition and pressure, keeping the battery charged, and just cleaning the motorcycle. These are your duties. They're non-negotiable. And that right there, that shared responsibility, this back and forth between you, the expert mechanic, and the bike itself, that is the absolute core of what it means to own this thing, at least according to the book. So after all that, what's the big takeaway? We've gone through the scary warnings, the incredible tech, and all the responsibilities. And when you step back, one thing becomes incredibly clear. This little book, it's so much more than an owner's manual. It's the code. It's the written protocol that governs the entire relationship between the human, the machine, and the road. It's basically the operating system for the most important part of the bike, you. And that just leaves me with one last thought to chew on. In a world where our machines are getting smarter and smarter, with all these assists and automatic systems, is the owner's manual, this thing that demands our complete attention, our understanding, our responsibility, is it the last place that reminds us who's actually supposed to be in charge?